There are some places where archaeology and the second sight are one and the same thing, where time and place coalesce. Places like the Highlands of Scotland. And if there is a link between temporal and spirit worlds, then surely on the banks of Lochaber is such a place. So if you're interested in the people, places and events in Scottish history, then click the subscribe button at the bottom right of the screen and ring the notification bell to be told when I upload new videos. In the meantime, let me tell you a story. Now, the story didn't quite start here. It started in 1871. It was the year of the Paris Commune in France. Otto von Bismarck became the first Chancellor of a united Germany. Trade unions were legalised in Britain, and Henry Morton Stanley pronounced the words, Dr. Livingstone, I presume. But most important of all, in the world's first ever international rugby match, Scotland hammered England 1-0 at Murrayfield. In Lochaber, a clansman on Clan Cameron lands lay in his bed. Was he restless? Was he peaceful? Was it one of those nights where you drift in and out of sleep? All we know is that what he reported was something that he saw in a dream. You must have been there. Haven't we all carried accumulating money worries of day-to-day life and longed for the release of sleep, only for the worries to follow you into the world of dreamland? That time where the mind lowers the barriers of logic and reason and gives way to the world where reality, time and imagination merge into one, swapping notes and pulling ideas, searching for solutions to bring back to the world of consciousness. It was in that moment that a truth was revealed. If our clansman came to this spot and dug, he would find treasure. Now, I say this spot. The truth is that depending on whose account you believe, it might have been further down the shore at Keppenach or at Corpach. The point is that when he got up, he followed the voice and dug. And when he dug, he found. Well, for that, we need to go to the West Highland Museum in Fort William. Come with. As we head to the museum, let me just say that you can hire me and my sexy electric SUV to show you around Scotland for the day with my chat and charm. I can take up to 6 passengers at a time and without burning carbon dioxide. So, if you'd like a bespoke tour, click top right and get in contact. I'll also be offering 2 11-day Scottish tours in 2025, one in April and one in September with full board and the wonders of Scotland. There's a link for that in the description, or email alexis@scotlandhistorytours.co.uk. Shall we go in? The West Highland Museum has a wonderful collection of memorabilia from Highland regiments, a reconstruction of the room where the order for the Glencoe massacre was signed using the original material recovered from the now disappeared fort, and the most incredible Jacobite collection imaginable. But that's not what we're here for. This is what our clansman found buried in the ground, 2 gold armlets. Now, I assume that he knew they were gold. He must have known that they were valuable. What he couldn't have known is how far they called to him through time and space. You see, we now know that they were made in the Bronze Age, and they were made in what we today call Ireland. Now, there's a people who knew the second sight. It's little surprise that people and goods would travel across that narrow sea. And if anyone could insert mystic charm in these armlets it's them. I don't know if it was the Bronze Age when they were lost. Were they lost at all? You see, when you lose an armlet, you lose one. Two matching armlets together suggests burial. Why? To return to them later in time of threat, only to find that the threat was greater than you realised and the treasure remained unclaimed. A votive offering to some God whose name we'll never know. Were their prayers answered? Have you ever put something in a time capsule and wondered who would be the next person to see it, touch it, and when? And how much would they really understand what that object meant to you? As you placed your offering in that time capsule, have you ever sent a message projecting your spirit to a future time unknown? Have you ever wondered how the finder's spirit might receive that message 3,000 years from now? And how your gift might bless their life? How your offering to the gods might be somebody else's answer to a prayer to a different God? A descendant benefiting from their forefathers' ancestral worship in an invisible chain that binds. What did our clansman do with his answer to prayer? He took it to his clan chief. Donald Cameron of Lochaber had worked for the Foreign Office in the Diplomatic Corps. He'd been first attaché in China during the Second Opium War. When stationed in Berlin, he'd met with the very Bismarck who'd just become Chancellor in Germany. And Lochaber himself had only recently entered Parliament as an MP for Inverness. Lochaber cancelled the man's rent for life. That was an answer to prayer. And we have the benefit of seeing these wonderful objects in the West Highland Museum today. All because he followed his dream. If you like stories of Scottish myth and legends, I've got a belter coming up. You should watch it. All you have to do is click the video link coming up on screen now. Support the channel by clicking top right to become a Patreon member or buy me a coffee in the description below. In the meantime, ha' mi an dóchas gyn bí lá málaí. Sherry and Rasta.